They say that making a good first impression is the most important thing. It must be admitted that Polish President Karol Nawrocki more than fulfilled this task. And although he had met Donald Trump during his election campaign, this was his first meeting with him as president. At Friday's press conference, Donald Trump, speaking about next year's G20 meeting in Miami, referred to Karol Nawrocki's visit to the White House without being asked. The U.S. leader made no secret of his fondness for the Polish president.
We're going to invite Poland. Already I've issued them an invitation. They're great. They were just here, as you know. Great leader, great new leader. One of the big surprises, I was so happy I endorsed him, actually, and he won. And he's going to be a great leader of Poland, but I've invited Poland already.
In addition to inviting Poland to the G20 summit, President Trump's declaration to keep American troops in Poland and perhaps even increase the U.S. Army's presence in our country is an undeniable success.
We're very happy. If anything, we'll put more there if they want.
The visit itself in such a short time and the invitation of the Polish president to Washington show that for the United States, we are a key partner on NATO's eastern flank and in the entire European Union. How is the Polish Ministry of Foreign Affairs reacting to these successes? In its characteristic way, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is upset that Polish President Navroski did not take anyone from the ministry's leadership with him to the White House, and Radosław Sikorski, in order to prove himself, is trying to show that he is also important in America. That is why he posted a video from the garden in front of the White House. My fellow patriots from Law and Justice boast that they blocked the government's entry into the White House. Best regards. There are more similar recordings. President Navroski responded to Radosław Sikorski's provocations, showing the minister his place in a few words. Dear Minister Radosław Sikorski, I am already in Poland. Today is National Reading Day. I am unable to address your Washington album in any other form, but I appeal for seriousness. Our relations with the U.S. are truly a matter of fundamental importance for Poland. Foreign Minister, taking selfies in front of our partners' administration buildings is not the right way to go. Please forget about your emotions, our internal politics, and your album from the trip for a moment. Please adjust your armor and represent Poland, a serious partner of the U.S., with dignity. This is not a matter of your good, albeit disturbing, well-being. These are matters of state. I believe that as soon as I find the time and you cool down a bit, we will meet for a serious conversation about the disturbing state of Polish diplomacy, also in the U.S., where we have not had an ambassador for a long time. See you soon. The antics of Minister Radosław Sikorski and his successive tweets, I wrote one tweet, are not of interest to me. The president of Poland has many issues, many matters to deal with. I was just at the national reading. The time will come when I will invite the minister and we will talk about serious matters. Radosław Sikorski's unique diplomatic activities have been appreciated by internet users, who already imagine him in other places around the world.
Pozdrawiam. 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 Pozdrawiam.
Let us recall that Poland has not had an ambassador to the United States for over a year because Bogdan Klich, whom Donald Tusk nominated for the role, was unacceptable first to President Duda and now to President Nawrocki. Klich has insulted President Trump in the past. Let us remember that according to Law and Justice, friendship with this unstable politician who does not respect democracy was supposed to be a guarantee of Poland's security. Unfortunately, it is futile to look for the will of the head of diplomacy to abandon the dispute between the government and the president, and Poland is clearly losing out on the international stage as a result. It is time for the head of the Polish Ministry of Foreign Affairs to understand that there is a politician in the presidential palace who was elected by over 10.5 million citizens, who is fulfilling his election commitments, and with whom he should cooperate for the good of the country. President Navroski is not resting on his laurels and is taking action. Straight from the United States, he traveled to Rome, where he met with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, Pope Leo XIV, and President Sergio Mattarella. For me, all these meetings were also an excellent opportunity to convey the outcome of my talks with the President of the United States, President Trump, to the President of Italy, the Prime Minister of Italy, the Pope, and the Cardinal Secretary. Many topics were discussed during these meetings. The most important issues were security, illegal migration, and the attempt to block the agreement with the Mercosur countries. There are quite a few differences, but there is definitely a good atmosphere, and there is certainly full agreement on values. And Washington connects them too. It connects them, yes, that's right. It is said that Prime Minister Meloni is well received across the ocean, and Karol Nawrocki is also well received as president. Now President Karol Nawrocki has more visits ahead of him. In the near future, he will visit Lithuania, Finland, Germany, and France. This tour is building him up incredibly in Europe and on the international stage. Heads of state and government clearly see the change that is taking place, that has taken place in Polish politics, that President Karol Nawrocki is becoming the #1 figure in foreign policy when it comes to Poland, rather than Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, who is increasingly being pushed aside, especially in the United States. Karol Nawrocki's first month as head of state clearly indicates that this will be an exceptionally active presidency. Poles appreciate the new president's commitment. According to a SW research poll for Onet, almost 43% of respondents have a positive opinion of the head of state's first month. As it turns out, the key to pursuing a popular policy is to implement a program, which in this case can be summarized by the presidential motto, Poland first, Poles first.